Chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with the Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CR-F 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today. Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington.
All right, welcome in. What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington? He's back on a Thursday night. You guys can join in 402-464-5685. We got NFL on the brick and mortar, but no worries. Starter Heyman text line still available for you. Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. All great ways to put a face to the voice. Chancellor Brewington. How's it going on a Thursday night? We had the Christmas party going on behind the scene here. Pretty well cleared out, but looks like everybody had a good time. Got to see a lot of friendly faces. How's it going?
Man, it's if you can turn my mic on. It's going
been
great.
A while.
It's going great, man. Yeah, it's great to be on What's Brewing tonight. Got a cool show for you lined up. It's cold out in Lincoln today.
Yeah, it's terrible out.
Yeah, it's they say everything just is. They say everything just is until you relate it to something. And so it's really hard for me to say it's not cold. I think it is cold.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you can just play those mind games. The way I go about it's like I can either trick myself or just understand it's cold outside, wear a jacket.
So you're okay. So you're under the philosophy of just accept it.
Yeah, accept it. It's cold out. Wear a coat, buddy. Okay,
I'm kind of on the other scale. I'm kind of more so of the try to trick yourself a little bit.
Yeah, you do. You're good at that.
I've
heard your takes.
There you go. There you go, Harrison. We're starting off hot, but yeah, because like I get up like around around 6ish and work out, and I walk to the apartment gym in my flip-flops because I like working out barefoot, and it gets pretty cold in the morning, bro.
That's a wild move doing the flip-flops out, but I guess if you're gonna work out barefoot,
yeah, I work out barefoot. Yeah, good for the feet.
Yeah, I mean I've seen a lot of people do that. That's not weird to me. The flip-flops, that's tough though, depending on the walk.
How is the Bears doing, Harrison?
They're bad, man. It's their 7 or 8 game losing streak. I'll sum it up for you. Their last game, 49ers at halftime, total yards of offense 314. Do you know what the Chicago Bears? You're snickering, so I'm guessing you know the number.
No, I don't. I'm
okay. So 314 for the 49ers. The Bears at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you take a swing at it. Total offense
79 yards.
2.
No, you're kidding.
No, it is 2 yards.
Yeah, 2 yards.
2 yards. Sorry, I might be. You know what? I might be doing a disservice. I could have cut the whole thing in half. Apologies. 4. It was 2 or 4.
Okay, that's a bottom mistake though. That's a 2x right there.
Yeah,
that's a 2x, Harrison.
Like that this was the Chicago Bears team that you thought like, oh, they're gonna turn around. Thomas Brown is the head coach now. They're gonna have the fire, the energy, new era. And yeah, they just didn't give a damn, it looked like. And the 49ers were the more pissed off team. So I tipped my cap off to them. Brock Purdy looked great. George Kittle looked amazing. Juwan Jennings, 2 touchdowns, comes out of the woodwork despite all the injuries. Like, yeah, the Bears just suck, like flat out. They're not good. They're just not good.
Oh, man. And Caleb Williams walked into a good, what we thought was a good situation.
That's the part that's troublesome is like, you can't tell me you don't have enough offensive talent. And I think Caleb Williams is doing, I think it's good at times, but the first half, for whatever reason, it's just so slow.
It's crazy. So we've been doing this show almost for a year now. Almost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, yeah, almost for a year. About 2 months, 3 months away from
Throwing
a year.
what's the word over a year.
Yeah. Throwing a couple months of what's the word, but we've gotten to the point where we can go back and evaluate our takes and picks from. And we were pretty wrong on the Bears. I was wrong on the Bears.
Yeah.
Of course, you were wrong. But
damn. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying. Of course, you were wrong.
Yeah.
Like you were always gonna.
Yeah, because I was gonna root for the Bears.
Yeah.
But, and to your point, so Sharp, I'm not too offended here. I did pick the Bears to beat the Packers in the NFC North for, I don't know, like 5 years in a row. Hasn't happened once.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen for a while.
It will.
Yeah,
it has to. It might not. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah. So and then I think about like what we predicted for Husker season, and we were, yeah, we were pretty drunk on that Kool-Aid.
8 or 9, I think is what we ended up with.
Yeah, we were like 9-3, 8-4.
Yeah,
which is sad.
Yeah,
we got humbled this year, but bowl season, going to the Pinstripe Bowl. I don't think I've been on here since it got announced.
No, you haven't. I'm a little bit surprised. Some people are like kind of like, it's just the Pinstripe Bowl. And I'm like, man,
playing in New York Stadium is awesome.
We got a bowl game too. Like,
yeah,
let's stop complaining.
Come on, guys.
Got an opportunity to go win a ball game. Let's just focus on that part.
Yeah, with a limited roster too.
Yeah, and you get to play Boston College, which is it's interesting.
Bill O'Brien, NFL head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Another NFL head coach just got signed.
Yeah,
Bill Belichick.
I wonder curious what your thoughts are on that. The seasoned, the old heads take is Bill Belichick. His personality is not going to click with that younger generation. 25, I don't know if the young guys are like, they don't not know who Bill Belichick is and who Tom Brady is. So I don't know if that one really equates very well to what people are thinking. I've kind of turned my brain on it. I wasn't sure about it, but the way college football is so pro football these days, like it's a good hire.
I'll say this. I'll leave room for growth for Bill Belichick. I think he's, for anyone to doubt him, I think it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I think it's wrong. Why? Because I believe that he knew the formula for the NFL, right? And I think he's going to figure out the formula for college. I don't know if he's going to go in there and be the best head coach there ever was, but I know he's going to get some wins.
Yeah,
I could definitely see UNC,
especially the ACC.
Come on, I could see UNC stealing some Clemson guys in the recruiting battle. I could see UNC, stealing some Bama transfers, like hopping in the portal. And I don't think Bill Belichick's going to be. I think people are kind of looking at it from the wrong angle. I think this maybe could go into Bill Belichick's hand a little bit more because the way college football is going, it's going to the NFL landscape, the NFL structure. And so you're not really worried. I wouldn't say worried, but you're not. The retention rate for college football is going down and down every year, right? And so it's more so like the NFL. So what Bill Belichick needs to do is be able to bring guys in. And I think now you get a real good GM position. All the college football teams are starting to have these GM positions now. I think, and he sent over a 280-page Bible to UNC before he got signed. And I think one of the things you do is you get a GM that's super personable, super likable, a household name, kind of like an ambassador almost. Not so much a GM, maybe assistant GM, but that's the guy that Bill Belichick brings on recruiting visits. Is a, that mentor, that personable, witty, because he's not like a Kirby Smart. Bill Belichick's not like Kirby Smart. He's not like a Dion.
Yeah, he's not like Jim Harbaugh.
He's not like a Coach
Rule.
Yeah, he's not like Coach Rule. Super like got that like pastoral
preacher's tongue.
Yeah. He doesn't have that. Bill Belichick is a white and black cookie cutter dry, what I'm saying, like gonna tell you exactly what it is. I think he'll switch that up a little bit. I'm not saying he's gonna switch up who he is, but I think he's gonna come out from a different angle to win. If we know anything about Belichick, he know how to win, and he wants to win. And I think he'll do anything it takes to win.
Yeah, and you don't take that job unless you don't think you can go win there. And that Bible
Right.
sent UNC. I think because I'll ask you though, why do you think the NFL teams didn't want him? Like the Falcons, I don't even know if the Bears called him. They're still locked into the Eberflus, but there's a few NFL teams that could have made the phone call. Falcons were the closest one to really pulling the trigger on it, but they didn't do it. Why do you think there was a resistance to Bill Belichick, one of the most successful coaches in our generation? Because that's the part I'm trying to figure out. Why was there resistance to him earlier?
Probably philosophy. Probably they, and
that's the Bible thing, I wonder.
Yeah.
Because UNC gets this Bible and they're like, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Hell, the AD today, or was it yesterday? I can't remember when they had the introductory press conference. Shows up with the the suit sleeves cut off because Bill Belichick always wears the hoodie with the cut off sleeves. Like, they're bread and butter. They love it. Like, they're pretty in love with the hire. So I wonder if that's the reason why there's so much resistance. And then UNC's like, listen, we'll read the Bible every night and we'll even do a prayer together. Just fix our program.
Right.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, don't go to the book of Bill.
The book of Bill.
The book of Bill for the way he wants to do things. And if you kind of obviously I didn't get a full look at it, but if you kind of heard the summary of what it was talking about, it was really about how he wanted his coaching staff structured, how he wanted his team structured, how he wanted it. He really wanted it to be like an NFL team, and he took all his philosophy and all the things that took in an NFL. And I think what's going to happen, Harrison, is this: in the next 5, if the college football landscape continues to grow and go in the same direction as it is now, I would see and predict that a lot of NFL coaches are going to bounce back to college because there's not going to be much of a drop off.
I think you might be right.
From philosophy and, structure. And now I guarantee by the end of, probably in this off season is going to be insane, Harrison. I don't think people understand how many different rules in the NCAA is going to be established, contracts, negotiators, more information about player agents in this level, because now every guy that goes and transfers, I don't know if people know this, have to have someone negotiating their contracts, right? So, let's say I'm in the transfer portal and I have my top 3 right now are Bama, let's go Bama, Clemson, and Oklahoma, or whatever it is. Well, Bama offers me $800,000 to go there, whatever. Well, I have to get someone to negotiate that, and now the negotiators are getting
15%.
Well,
something like that.
Well, in the NFL, agents are getting 2 to 3 on the high end. Two is like your average. If it's 2, then they're if it's 3, then they're doing a little bit more for you on the back end. 2, they're a little bit more hands off. So usually 3%. Now
that's the NFL though.
Yeah,
I don't know if college is in that same.
So
ballpark.
the intel I've heard is that it's around 10%.
Yeah, and that seems outrageous.
And so imagine a $850,000 contract. You're getting 85,000 off of that. But on top of it, what's the loophole is? The loophole is that now these agents are charging, say, the player. They're giving the player the deal 5%, and they're charging the school 10% for the negotiation.
Man, what a business model.
So I'm saying the money, of course, you got tens of millions dollar contracts, but the amount of players that are entering the transfer portal, the money is, for those type of agents and those type of people that, this is their business. The college football landscape is second to none right now.
I want to ask, what happens to the guys, especially with the 105 roster limit, but even years prior, like we're seeing over 40% of guys like not even end up at another school.
Yeah.
What happens to those guys? Because I think that's not talked about. Are those guys just dropping out of college completely? Because if they don't find another school, they don't have scholarship. So you have to pay out of pocket if you want to go to school, unless you can get some good grants off of academics or previous stuff. But like, what happens to those guys?
Yeah, I don't think that's talked about enough.
Yeah, because how many dropouts do we have? Like, I would love for someone to do a deep dive. Players that hit the portal that didn't end up at another school that just decided to drop out altogether, and you never hear from them again.
Yeah, because I can think about my time. This was before the portal was hot. Before I came here, guys hop in the portal. A year later, you got them on Instagram, you got on whatever, and they're at a NAIA school, right? That probably doesn't really do scholarships.
Yeah,
then they're probably having to pay out their pocket and stuff like that. because there's such a limit. I think about the 105 now. Like there's such a limited. There's so many limited spots, and
That's
like
what scares me about how big does this number get for the portal? Like especially if you're one of those guys where you think you're probably in that 80 to 105 area. Like even that's not a very safe spot to be in.
yeah.
Because they might move on from you after a year.
I feel like there has to be some type of. I don't know what the solution is for that, because you made it a thing with the 105. Now, as before, it was a thing already with the people hopping in the portal, not finding a place to go. Now that 40% might get flipped over to 55%.
That's why I think it's going to take a massive jump this year, and that's what's worrisome.
Yeah,
we're gonna I just hope someone keeps tabs on those guys.
Yeah,
like what ends up happening, because that's just kind of messed up, and that's what me and DeMorney were talking about a lot on Dump Punt Hour. Is like they should have really layered it so you don't have to go straight to the 105,
right?
Because it's just gonna be a lot of guys that are at their university that now we're gonna have that money taken away from them that don't make the cut. They're gonna have to make some real life decisions, and just totally unfairly got the rug pulled out from them because there was no sound that this thing was coming down the railroad. All of a sudden, it just kind of hit.
Yeah,
like this is happening. We're going to 105 now,
yeah.
And there was no there was talks about it. We weren't really sure how the layout was going to go. And then it just kind of hit the desk, and it's like 105 next year for the 25-26, not 10 less to eventually 105. Just straight to 105.
And I don't think people realize how slim that roster is.
Well, it's slim, but NFL is like what, 70 some?
53
active, but I think you can have like 70 some.
Well, I mean, plus 16 practice squad.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it is. So it's not.
And then
like
you got like
crazy.
On IR you got like 4 or 5 guys.
The difference is those are all NFL players,
right?
And the development part of those teams is a lot smaller than guys who can just play. College has got a very large chunk of guys that are freshmen, sophomore development, especially if it's an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean,
so that takes a much bigger chunk than the NFL.
You think about like say you have every position I would say needs like a 4 deep. You need a 4 deep.
Yeah, certainly at quarterback, you're going to need 4. Maybe some guys might even get a 5th one. Just
right. So I mean, yeah, like tight end room. I mean, we had 10 guys in tight end room, right? So like 11 guys. Like we would have 2 separate meetings: travel guys and non-travel. Right now, it's like okay, we go 4 deep. Obviously that's 44 on one side and 44 on the other. That's 88 guys. You throw in a sprinkle of freshmen and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're right at that. I mean, you got special teams guys now.
Yeah, throwing some unique kickers, taking up a few more spots. You want to have a few of those.
Yeah, double punter, double long snapper, place kicker, kickoff kicker. That whole deal. You're right at that. You're already at that 95, and then you add 10 more. Specialized guys. You throw them here, throw them here, throw them here, and you're right there. I mean, you get the coach's limit, gets bumped up, right? And then the player limit gets bumped down. It's almost like the NCAA throws a handout with the settlement earlier this year, right?
Yep.
Just put my claim in, by the way, Harrison.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. But you go through that. It's like they give a handout to the last 10 years, right? And which doesn't really mean anything, or from 17 to 23, because what about from 23 to 1930, right? Or 1950, when they're actually making real money off college football. And then they go and give this, and you're like, oh wow, NCAA is really blessing these guys, man. They're really doing their thing. And then literally within the same year, 2 months later, they say, yeah, 105 roster limit. You guys got to cut all your players. Like what? Like, I mean, people say NCAA is this, man. I think, honestly, bro, they some thugs. They are some thugs. They are thugs. They do what they want to do, and nobody can check them because they have all the power.
Yeah.
Like they are the top. They are the bosses in all the villain movies you watch.
Yeah, and they're getting to a point, especially now with social media. It's really proven how many bad decisions they make. It's not great.
It's not great.
And yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by it. I mean, you just think the pressure, the NCAA would feel the pressure to this point, and I think they're trying to get a hold of it. And I think the 105 is probably in like some sort of way, like brutal short term, but long term, they're hoping it makes some sort of. I mean, what is the point of the 105? Is that just to tackle, you think, like the transfer portal, or like why bring it down to 105? Is that just to simplify?
I think this is for the amount of the 22, you know what I'm talking about, the $22 million per school or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with that. It has to.
I think you're right. I don't want to say for sure, but I think that is a big part of it. So I think it's just like I would assume. It's a brutal short term. It's a brutal fix right now, but I think in the long term, they're hoping it just makes things a little bit more simplified so you can actually figure out where all this money is getting put in. There's so much money into it. It's not the NFL where, you know, you only got 30 plus teams. Like, we're talking hundreds of schools here. I don't know. It's just the more we talk about NAL and college football, the more I realize, like, it's going to be not just a few years before the dust settles. Like, I think it's just going to be chaotic for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, and it might not ever quiet down and be the thing we remember it being.
It's like this conversation of bowl games.
Yeah.
I mean, guys not playing in bowl games. I mean, now the conversation is, okay, is the whoever sponsors the bowl, or the NCAA gonna pay people to play in the bowl game?
I think that's what it's
gonna go to. It's gonna go to,
and
they're gonna have to sign a contract. And if you don't play in it, there's gonna be, you know, you're not gonna be able to get, say, you know, let's say Nebraska Pinstripe Bowl, they offer, you know, for Dylan Rowell to play in it, right? It's 75,000 or 120 or whatever it is. And Dylan doesn't play in it, he don't get that money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and guess who has to negotiate that? His agent.
Yeah. And guess who gets cut of that?
The agent and the company. And I mean, it's there's the structure within this. They have to pull from the NFL. Yeah. They have to. And there should be bowl game checks, just like there's playoff checks in the NFL. Like, it's moving to it. And I think the coaches that don't fight this change are the ones that's going to benefit from it.
Oh yeah. And
that are going to, the ones that get ahead, like the Bill Belichick's that say it's going to be just like NFL. I need a GM. I need this. I need this. I need this. Like Rule went on the presser today and said he's been scouting recruit portal guys. Like, you really need to go. You really need a whole different type of. It's a different type of recruiting staff now. You need guys who know ball, who can identify talent, who can identify, you know, a guy that's ready to come in and play. And you know, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know if I'll ever get used to it. I still love watching the game. Don't get me wrong. College football will always be a great product, but just it's so far off from what it was even when I was, you know, 10 years old watching the Bo Pelini era. So we'll keep talking some football here. Don't go anywhere. This is What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington, former Husker tight end to my left, as always, here on a Thursday night. We'll be back after the break.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CRF-R Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CRF Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CRF 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, More horseback riding, zip line gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today. Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington? Harrison runs on the ones and twos. Former Husker tight end Chancellor to my left, as always. You guys can join and Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We still got NFL in the brick and mortar. Tough one tonight too, 9-6. Apologies for everybody listening. It's a slow moving game right now. Currently in the fourth quarter, 9 minutes left to go. The Rams do lead it though by field goal, 9-6. All right, Chancellor Brewington. We talked a lot on that first segment, just about the craziness of college football, NIL, Bill Belichick to UNC. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about these college football playoffs. And the one thing I can't always help but notice is Oregon just got screwed over.
Oregon. Oh, because the no first round bye.
They got the first round bye.
Well, how'd they get screwed over?
So their reward for being undefeated is if they, after whoever wins, is they got to play Tennessee or Ohio State.
Yeah, their side of the bracket is tough.
And if you win that game, then your next reward is Texas, most likely.
Hey, don't sleep on Clemson.
Okay, either way, that's Clemson. If they pull it off, like, don't sleep on Clemson. But if you're Ohio State, or excuse me, if you're Oregon, you would have traded spots with any of the other sides, and you're the only undefeated team.
Yeah, you would anticipate them playing like, I'm not gonna say Penn State. Obviously ASU gets the bye. I mean, them playing Boise. Well, does Boise get the bye?
Yeah, Boise's got the bye. Arizona State. Like, me and we were talking about this when We Talk Facts. This would be the way to do it. Teams 1, 2, 3, 4 get to pick which part of the bracket they want to play in. So you pick the others first, right? So 1 through 4 is
SMU
left blank. SMU, yeah, they like
if you're Oregon, you want to play SMU.
Yeah, you want to be where Penn State's at. On that side.
Yeah.
Where you got the bye and you're playing a Boise State or SMU.
Because you're playing some juggernauts on the right
That's
side.
what I'm saying.
You got Ohio State, Tennessee, winner of that, and then you got, the Texas and Clemson playing, whoever wins the playing, against ASU eventually in the Peach Bowl. ASU is an interesting story too.
Yeah, their only loss was I think unfortunately when Jeff Sims got the start.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
I'm just pointing because people want to circle the one loss. But the one loss came when they didn't have their starting quarterback.
Right. And
so technically almost the other undefeated.
I believe his name is Sam Levitt.
Levitt.
Yeah. I mean, he's a baller, and has the third most rushing yards in the whole FBS for a quarterback.
Was that the Michigan State quarterback?
Yeah, Michigan State.
Sam Levitt.
Yeah, I mean, we could have. No,
he did not look good at Michigan State, though.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, and I think that's what I don't say this. When a team starts winning, everyone watch out.
Well, it's just the confidence part of it.
Everything
too.
starts clicking. You got Cam Scatterboo doing everything, and known the man for ASU. I mean, he might be their strength coach, nutrition staff, and their athletic trainer too. But the juice is flowing there, and boys are getting after it. I think the game I'm probably most excited for is the Tennessee Ohio State game.
Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. Who do you got? That one is. I agree with you because and again, this goes back to why I feel bad for Oregon. Before this thing came out, you kind of knew Tennessee was going to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Circle them for one of the dark horses. I like the Volunteers a lot. So
that's your dark horse.
It was, but now I'm like, man, you got to get through Oregon, Ohio State.
I got my dark
Texas,
horse.
Probably.
I got my dark horse. It's probably. I don't think you can guess it.
Penn State.
No.
Is it Arizona State?
No. Hell no.
Is it Clemson then?
It's Clemson.
Okay.
I think
I love it.
I like the Texas Clemson matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I like them, and then I think they can get done against ASU comfortably. And then depending on obviously what Oregon does, I think anybody. I'm gonna say this. I think anybody here can beat Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon.
It's not a number one team we're used to seeing. I'm gonna say that
there is no number one team we're used to seeing this year. That's the most intriguing part of it all.
And Ohio State, it's not the Ohio State of old.
Mm-mm.
It's not the Ohio State of C.J. Stroud or
Justin Fields, even.
Yeah, it's not that. And even the Penn State. I think Penn State is probably a sleepier team for me.
I love the Penn State story. James Franklin didn't have to change at all.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Be Penn State, you'll find your way in.
Insane. And then you got this narrative of this Georgia team, and listen, when you don't have a quarterback, it's really hard to win football games. I don't care how good that Georgia defense is. When you don't have a quarterback, it's going to be really hard.
I know. So who comes out on that side?
I think Boise State gets out the Fiesta Bowl.
That'd be fun because they get the bye, right? And then they probably just got knocked down Penn State.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if they play SMU, great, because now Boise State's going to run the football, chew the clock up, and
and Penn State, there's a chance they do lose to SMU. I don't expect it, but Penn State, one thing they've shown all year is we'll play to your level. Tell us where you're comfortable at, we'll meet you there.
And and now it kind of goes to this Notre Dame Indiana game. Now, if Indiana gets things rolling, that's the team that's gonna be hard to stop.
This is my second most intriguing game. Might be the first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of these players grew up in Indiana, around that area, kind of that northern Midwest vibe. this isn't a crazy travel for Indiana to go to play at Notre Dame.
No.
Like, this is right down the road.
And they're going to be pissed.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
after that Ohio State loss, everyone's like, see,
Signetti's not playing around.
I am rooting for, and again, this is Notre Dame fans, just or something else. Like I put a reel up, and it was me and Hosta Breezy, just not a fan of Notre Dame. Like, they belong in the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but to be 7, your best win is Texas A&M. Good job, like that's a good win.
And that was a weird Texas A&M team.
It's also the first game of the year.
Yeah.
So it's also the rusty version of that team. Okay, but good win. I'll give it to you. Not a bad team. You got the win. But then the next week you'd lose to NIU. And then after that, your next best wins are Army and Navy. Congratulations on another crappy non-con schedule that you get every year where, like, I hate it because there'll be times where it's like they'll actually be up there in strength of schedule because they might have like a couple good teams, but they have so many of these crap teams in between that if they have a bad game, it's so easy for them to pick themselves up.
I'm telling you, there's something about playing in a conference and playing for something. It heightens the odds. It heightens the pressure. They're playing with no pressure.
Well, you just don't, because like, look at what happened in Nebraska in that stretch. And what happens to Notre Dame is stretch. Notre Dame might take a loss, even to a crappy team. But the thing about Notre Dame is like, they're going to have these stretches to get back in it. Nebraska, when we start losing games, our next opponents weren't getting easier. They're still very good caliber opponents that if you're not clicking, they're going to take advantage of it. You're Notre Dame and his non-con schedules, you might actually get there with the strength of schedule, shoot up there, but you're still going to have these big gaps where you can play some pretty cruddy teams, get back on track, get the confidence.
Yeah, you go play Northern Illinois, you lose to them, and then, Purdue comes to home and you whoop on them. And Purdue ends up being one of the worst teams in the Big Ten, if not the worst team.
And they have so much control about which teams they're pulling.
Exactly. So
you can pull some Big Ten, SEC teams, but they're not going to be pulling, let's get Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State and Oregon. They're going to pull from the bottom. And so again, that's why I love this matchup, because it's the two teams that played nobody. And because Indiana, quote unquote, didn't play anybody either. But why I tip my cap to Indiana is, sure, the teams they played, if you look at the strength of schedule, they're not actually going to be on there because the Big Ten just cannibalizes itself so much that each loss to another Big Ten team just shoots you down the list. But all those teams are just capable of beating anybody.
There's a real chance that Boise State gets in there. I mean, advances to the top 4. ASU advances and Indiana advances.
That
would be awesome.
Be so fun.
Talk about new college football.
You know what I actually like more, though? I think if you had... No, it'd be tough because then Texas would have to get to the championship game, and I won't like that. I would like to see like Indiana beat the brakes off Texas, but then Texas would have to make it.
Yeah.
And I want Texas to just lose miserably in that first game.
I would anticipate Ohio State and Oregon rematching.
Yeah.
And I think it's really going to be hard to beat that Ohio State team twice.
I got Tennessee pulling out of that one.
Yeah.
Ohio State, I just don't like them this year. Their run game is weak.
It's too up and down.
It's their way they beat you is like, can we get over the top enough?
Right.
Just a few big explosive plays, because the run game just hasn't been there for them. So they really struggle to move the ball methodically against good defenses, and we saw that with Nebraska.
Rule was right, though. 4 Big Ten teams in the college football playoffs.
Yeah, how does Paul Feinbaum feel? What an arrogant thing to do after Rule said that. I actually like Paul Feinbaum too. I listened
it was like a personal shot.
Yeah, I don't know what that was with him, like getting all, and he would like, guess what? The SEC not that good this year. He was dead right about it. So
there must have been some personal beef beforehand.
I wonder, but it was like also when Paul Feinbaum even said that, I'm like, are we just not going to pretend that they didn't just absorb Oregon, USC? You like, even if those teams aren't great, you have more teams. You're still going to increase the odds of getting a good team out of the Big Ten. And sure enough, Oregon undefeated. So and the SEC's down this year. That's still bizarre. I can't ever put my finger on why Paul Feinbaum was so offended by that from Matt Rule, but he was right. Yeah, who do you want to win the most out of this? Who's in here that you actually want to see hoist the trophy?
I mean, it'd be in a perfect world, Boise State.
Yeah, Genty runs for like an
but
insane amount of yards.
Realistically, I would say the best for college football winning would be, I don't think it's Georgia.
No, it's definitely not Georgia.
I think Oregon getting back on top crowning the number 1 seed, but I don't see it happening. I don't know what it is. I don't see it happening. I think that it's going to be a SEC school. I think it's either going to be Texas is going to find their way through.
Texas, though, like they're in a. Who does Texas play at quarterback? Do they just switch it up? Because Ewers hasn't been.
Oh yeah, that's what,
getting the job done. Like, do you put it? Arch Manning. You look at the stats when he's in there.
He's making.
He's really good,
and the guys are rallying around him.
Well, he can run the ball. Like he's really good pocket aware. Like because that's one thing with Dylan Raiola. I still love him. I'm glad he's staying here, but I think it's just the thing. Freshman QBs, that pocket awareness. Archie's got that already.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, Arch. Man, not Archie.
Yeah, and I think the thing I've been hearing kind of, and this is nothing is confirmed, but that he's gonna have a real decision. Quinn Ewers is gonna have a real decision what to do after this year because he can still come back.
Yeah,
but it's like, well,
Arch is gonna be the guy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna come back to Texas though. I don't think he's gonna leave and go to the draft. I think he's gonna transfer to probably a Big Ten or maybe like an ACC school or something like that. And
UNC.
Now we're talking.
Bill Belichick.
Come on.
Quinn Ewers.
Now we're talking. Or go to. I'm trying to think of. Go to.
Just think he could wreak.
Is Will Howard going? Oh no, he's not gonna go back to Ohio State.
No,
that's crazy. I don't know, but he's gonna go to a big school. Big school's gonna want him, and because I think he's outside that top four.
It's been a bad year. He's probably going to come back for another year of college football because he's certainly had years that looks much better than this one.
I mean, you think about like the top quarterbacks right now. You always got your Shadors.
Mm-hmm.
You got your Cam Ward. You got your Dylan Gabriel.
I don't even know what the mock draft looks like for QBs right now. Who are the hot ones that are people really like? I know which ones have decent years, but
I know Tyler Shuck is high on people's boards from Louisville.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart. Yeah, I don't know how good he had a good of a year he
had.
Some
interceptions. Early in the year, he was really high.
He was hot.
Yeah, and then I think it kind of fizzled out a little bit, but he's still good. I'm not sure how much steam he regained, but it did fizzle out a little bit.
Is Will Howard gone after this?
Yeah, this will be the last year for Will Howard. Because that was the big thing for us. We wanted Will Howard because we're thinking Danny Kalen. We didn't have Rayola yet.
Right.
We're thinking this would be a good opportunity. Redshirt, Kalen, Will Howard, 1 year, get the job done, bring in Kalen, and we end up getting Dylan Raiola. So that thing fell through, and Howard moved on. But
I'm looking at Texas, their quarterback, Nico's a young guy. Clemson, no. Boise, no. SMU, no. Penn State, Indiana. Rourke, is he?
I don't know where he's at.
I think he's a junior. And then Georgia, obviously. I mean, Carson Beck. I mean, nowhere near in that conversation. Notre Dame, no. So I don't know. I think the quarterback landscape. I mean, Shador, Cam Ward, and I mean, I don't know how high Dylan Gabriel is on people's radars. To be honest with you,
he's not listed at all right now.
Who?
Good, Dylan Raiola.
Dylan Gabriel, you mean?
Oh, I think talking about Dylan Raiola, like end of season QB rankings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
No. Dylan Gabriel, he is. So I got the list right here for you. Yeah, they don't even got Dylan Gabriel listed here. Hold on, this is off CBS Sports here, 2025, because this is the last year for Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
So there's no shot that he's.
They don't even have him on there.
No.
Come on, CBS.
They had to have missed him because there's no way he's deaf. But they got Cam Ward at the first one off, then Shador Sanders. They actually do have Quinn Ewers.
Really? At 3?
They're 18th ranking out of the quarterbacks. And these are quarterbacks. These are all juniors and seniors. How CBS has got listed, so you're not.
Is Shuck on there?
Let's see. They go Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, Jalen Milroe.
Oh, I forgot Jalen Milroe. I don't know.
Drew Aller, Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord is a good one.
Yeah.
Miller Moss.
Come on.
There's no way.
Come on,
Jackson Dart, Ole Miss. This is
trash.
CBS.
CBS. What are we doing? What are we doing? Whoever's working there, be better.
Yeah,
be better.
Do
your homework. Do your research.
Yeah, that's not a good list. We should. Well, we're just gonna skip the break because We're already over it. That list was awful. Because that's just like, that was essentially, here's the name of some of the quarterbacks that are juniors and seniors with no order whatsoever. Because you can't tell me that Miller Moss is still highly sought after by the NFL teams.
Yeah, no,
He got benched when he played us.
Yeah, and then hit the portal right after.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No.
You can't.
I'm sorry if you heard that, but don't pay attention. Don't go to CBS for the mock draft, I guess.
Yeah,
at least not this time of year. They're not ready for it.
I'm sure you can bet on the draft now.
I'm assuming that had to have been preseason, because preseason, that all those names make sense.
Yeah.
But actually in the season, those names definitely faded. Who do you think is the first quarterback off the board? Is it Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, or?
Well, I've heard talks that Cam Ward is going to the Giants and that the OC from Miami is going to the Giants too. So I don't know if that's going to happen.
I'd stay away from the Giants,
right?
Like a plague. You just not a lot of success there,
right? And of course, and then you hear of the Raiders talks with Shedeur, but I know Dion is. I've heard too many things about he's gonna do that. Who was it? Was it Eli Manning? Was it I'm trying to think of who the quarterback was that said no, I'm not going there.
Oh yeah.
Was it Eli?
I can't remember who the first one to do it was. Might have been Eli.
I don't know who it was, but I've heard that Dion's gonna do that, and he's even said he's not letting his son go to certain teams. So, and he's gonna do the same thing with Travis Hunter. So, people have talked about him, Shedeur going to Atlanta and him being, but that doesn't make sense with the Kirk Cousins situation. They just went and got Washington quarterback from last year. I'm blanking on his name.
Eli Manning did do that, though. You're right.
Eli Manning did. Yeah.
He said, screw you, San Diego.
Yeah, like
I'm not going there.
He said he's not going to San Diego.
There's a few guys that know it.
Yeah, and I think Dion's the guy that has a particular plan for his son. And I'm sure he's already had this in play since last year. He's a very calculated guy, and I don't know, maybe he follows him. That might be wild, but maybe he goes to the Cowboys.
No, I think what would happen, he goes to the Raiders, because the Raiders definitely need a new head coach. Cowboys maybe, but
Antonio Pierce gone.
You think Dion's going to want to work with Jerry Jones? Those two aren't going to work. Dion's not going to have any of Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is not going to have any of Dion, because Dion's not going to listen to Jerry.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And Jerry Jones is not going to want to give Dion the keys.
So
the Raiders would be a good fit. Vegas, fits their brand perfectly.
It does fit their brand.
And they'd need a head coach. They need a new quarterback. They need a new culture. Like, it's very similar to Denver, Colorado. Like, you got this beautiful location. The money's pouring in this place. You just need the right pieces to get people excited, and they will come. Raiders got all that in Las Vegas. They got a historic fan base, too. More historic than even Colorado football.
Think it'd be more successful in NFL, Dion?
Tough to say, because hell of a year, too, for Dion.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I'd say no, because the NFL is so damn hard. Like, we were even seeing that with Jim Harbaugh. The Chargers look great, but it's just brutal.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a really tough league to win in.
Yeah.
So no, I would not expect. I think what Dion is able to do at college football has more of an impact than what he'd be able to do in the NFL. NFL, he takes some powers away from himself.
Agreed.
It's just kind of the respect of a player coach.
Travis Hunter wins the College Player of the Year, AP Player of the Year.
Yeah. Who do you like for Heisman?
I mean, now we know who's going to win it, but
yeah,
I wanted Genty.
He finished just short of it too, which is a bummer of the Barry Sanders. A lot of that though is he sat out for so many second halves because they're just blowing teams out of the water.
Yeah, he's got 32 carries at halftime.
Yeah, he could have. It's a bummer. This is just a year where I'm not going to pout about it either. Travis Hunter. I mean, this is just a year where you had two legitimate Heismans just going at it.
You put Ashton Genty last year, he's winning it. You put Travis Hunter last year, he's winning it. Like these guys are phenomenal. And Ashton Genty is a junior. He still could come back, and you're wild if you do. You're wild if you do. You got to go to the league.
Yeah, he's going.
Yeah, you got to go to the league,
especially at the running back position.
It's kind of like I mean, you look at his stats. I believe he had I want to say 700 yards year or two, his sophomore year, and he just exploded. Like, hey, it could happen. It could happen for anyone.
I wonder how many drug tests he had to take this year.
Do you see how massive he is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder how many drug tests they made him take.
That's a real life bowling ball.
Well, no, the way he just stands there. pre-snap is always. He just knows he's that guy.
Yeah, like he doesn't fall, and he who reminds me of the way he runs, but he runs like he's on steroids. It's almost like a Manungai. We saw the way Manungai runs.
Yeah,
but it's just it's way more powerful. It's way more explosive. But it's like the balance is
it's like a controlled Marshawn Lynch. You know how Marshawn Lynch just ran with brute force, always looked unbalanced but kept his balance. Jeff is just brute force, but like somehow always just beautifully keeps his balance. Like it is so hard to get him.
It's almost
off kilter at all.
Yeah, it's on like some like ballerina stuff sometimes too. Like he's super powerful, but like he'll just shrug guys off and he always is moving forward, and that's what you want. I one of my favorite backs is Edgerrin James, and he always from the U, man, he always fell forward.
Yeah.
Like you always saw him falling forward. He never got hit and took a loss. Like he always had that, like even when he knew he was going down, he would always like just dive forward. Like
give me an inch.
Yeah.
That's why I always liked Roy Halou. You know, did you get those running backs? It's like I know what happens. We're not getting tackled down the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
unless somebody like really blows up on the play and just completely misses a guy. Like
you see, I guess the question is, how is his game transferred to the NFL? And I think it does. I think his game does, and I think the only thing for me is like, how much did this year take off his career?
You know, because I think he's fine.
I mean, this is almost 300 carries.
Running backs are weird though, as you find out. It's to me like running backs just doesn't matter. It's either in you or you're not. You're either Derrick Henry and you can just keep running the ball for the rest of your life, or you can't.
Yeah, I think he has it.
I think he has it too.
I think he has it.
And you don't get to that many carries with like no sign of injury or something.
Yeah. Like we didn't hear like, oh, he's out with the ankle sprain. He's questionable. Like
call it the LeBron genes, the Derrick Henry genes. Like he's
call
got
it the Ashton Genty.
The Ashton Genty.
Come on now.
Absolutely. That's gonna wrap it up for us. You got any final thoughts there, Brewington?
Nah, man. Have a safe Thursday evening. If you're listening on Friday, I hope you have a fantastic day.
Absolutely. That's going to wrap it up for all of Take a Weeknights. We'll have NFL continuing on the brick and mortar for you guys. But appreciate you listening. Be sure to tune in back tomorrow. Early break, 6 a.m. Bill Bush, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen always do a great show. And they'll talk to you then.